So you're going to think, oh, the front's going left. I want to go right though, so I want to go this way.
Are you listening?
Think, oh, no, that doesn't feel right. I've got to go this way. Which way do I steer? And go, I don't know which way to steer.
Yeah.
Hello, and thanks for clicking on my video. This is a video just showing some tips for reversing. So if you're struggling with reversing, stick around and watch this video, and hopefully you'll find some of these tips helpful. First things first though, please remember to hit that subscribe button to help me keep making more videos like this. So, first tip I give you is when you're practicing reversing, go to a quiet area. You'll see here I'm in a quiet car park, not much traffic around, quite empty. So you're in a quiet area, so you don't have any other cars around to cause you stress and grief. It's a nice quiet area, so you can focus on what you need to do. Next tip is make sure you can control the speed of the car. You can keep the car moving very, very slowly. So when you're going forwards, if you're struggling to control the speed of the car and the car's going like this when you're going forwards, you're probably not ready to start reversing yet because you're struggling to control the speed of the car. You should be able to control the speed of the car and keep the car slow, like a snail dragging a stone. Just like this. So remember, if you're struggling with that, probably shouldn't be reversing just yet. You need to improve your clutch control first. So next tip, make sure you look where you want to go. So think about it like this. When you're going forwards, where do you look? You look forwards and you glance in your mirror. So when you're reversing, you need to look behind you and glance ahead. And when we look behind us, we should be looking over our shoulder, not in the mirror. Because the thing with mirrors is they flip the image and they make it appear back to front, so that could confuse you. So make sure you're looking where you want to go, just like I'm going to demonstrate here. So you're looking over your shoulder, looking where you want to go. You can have one hand on the wheel if you want, that's fine. I normally like to have one hand on the wheel and one hand just resting on the handbrake or my knee. And this is perfectly fine. A highway code says you're allowed to have one hand on the wheel while reversing, so you will not get marked down your driving test for doing this. Now when you're starting off reversing, it might be advisable just to look only behind you, out of your back window. You know, some checking around to make sure it's safe. When you're starting off reversing, you'll be with an instructor. They could check around to make sure it's safe for you. You just focus on looking behind you and reversing back, looking behind. And just practice like this. Just go back in a straight line. Just practice keeping the car straight and controlling speed. Now I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I'm seeing. So I've got a facing where I want to go. So now I'm looking where the camera is facing, where I want to go. I'm reversing back. One hand is on my handbrake, not pressing it, I'm just having it there to rest my hand. That's where I prefer to have it. Now my other hand is on the wheel. I'm just looking where I want to go. Next tip is steer where you want the back of the car to go. So what I mean by this is you're looking at the back window. If you want to steer that, go that way, steer that way. If you want to go that way, steer that way. And I'll straighten the wheels. So again, now I'll show you. I'll move the camera around and show you what I'm seeing. So if I want to steer that way, I'm going to steer that way. So I'm steering right now. If I want to go to the left, so I want to go that way, I'm steering that way. So I'm now steering left. I want to straighten. I now need to steer right. Get the car straight, and then straighten the wheels. So when you're thinking about which way to steer when you're reversing, keep it simple. If you want the back of the car to go that way, steer that way. If you want the back of the car to go that way, steer that way. Don't even feel like you have to use left and right, because often left and right confuses people. Just think that way or that way. So towards you or towards your driving instructor. Because the problem is, if you overthink it, and also if you don't look behind you, you're going to get very confused. Because what happens when you steer left, the back of the car goes left, it goes that way, but the front swings the opposite way. So you're going to get confused if you're thinking about the front and overthinking it. You're going to think, oh, the front's going the wrong way, so I need to steer that way. Oh, I need to steer that. And look what I'm looking as well. I'm looking ahead. I'm looking ahead while going back. That just doesn't make sense. We should be looking behind us at the back when we're going back. So same here, if we steer to the right, the front swings to the left. By looking ahead, it's going to confuse you because it's all doing opposite. Something else I also do with my students is get them to practice straightening the wheels while they're reversing. So what we will do is we might pull forward slightly, and then I'll get them to close their eyes. Probably this stage I'd control the pedals and control the steering and get them to close their eyes and look away from the wheel. The idea being so they don't cheat and look where the wheels are turning. So now I just turn the wheels, for example, like this, and then I'll secure the car and then say to them, now I'd like to reverse back and straighten the car and straighten the wheels. The purpose of this exercise is to get you used to straightening the car and straightening the wheels. So they're now getting to reverse gear, making sure they're looking back where they want to go and reverse back. Now the back of the car at the moment is going that way, so I want to get the car straight, so I need to do the opposite way to straighten it. And when the wheel looks like this, it typically will be straight, but I can check by moving back slowly and the car's going back in a straight line, so I know the wheels are straight. And I might do it again with the student. So I get them to close their eyes or look out the window so they don't cheat, and then I'll move the car forward slowly, and I might then steer them this way like this, and then I'll secure the car, and now I'll ask them, now I'd like to reverse back and straighten the car and straighten the wheels. So they're going to reverse gear, making sure they're looking out the back window where they want to go, and reverse back slowly. Now this time the back of the car is going this way, so I need to steer this way to straighten. When I get to here, when my thumbs are level in these slots, I know the wheel's straight. So see, I don't have to look at it, I can just tell because this is level off, my thumb slots are level. So, and relating to this, make sure you know how many turns a full lock is on your car. When I say a full lock, I mean steering fully to the left or to the right until the wheel won't turn anymore, until it locks. So for example, I'm going to move forwards and show you this. So the wheels are straight at the moment, you can tell because the car's going straight. So a full lock to the right is 1 full rotation and almost a half. So then to straighten the wheels, it's half a rotation and then 1 full rotation, so 1.5. And the same to the left, you'll see. So if you want to steer to the left, 1 full rotation and a half. And straighten, it's half and then 1. Now this is important to know because often what you'll find, you have this problem when reversing. You might be reversing back, you've done lots of steering, you steer into a tight space, maybe done a full lock to the right, and then you look at the wheel and you think, yeah, that's straight. Oh, that's not straight. And you panic because you don't know where straight is. So, that's full lock to the right there. So to straighten, it's half a turn and 1 more. Relating to knowing where straight is in the wheels, don't assume the wheel looks like this, it's straight. It could be straight, but it could be 1 turn to the left. It could be 1 turn to the right, or it could be straight. So you don't know for sure. Some people then try and look at the wheels, but you can't see the wheels. Like the wheels in the car, the tyres, you can't see the tyres. So, what I'd like to do is reverse back and see where the back of the car goes. So reverse back slowly. You can see the back of the car is going towards the right. So now the wheel looks like this, and the back of the car is going to the right, I've got 1 right turn on. So I need to take that turn off. So that will now be the car reversing back in a straight line. So you'll see, going back in a straight line. And when reversing, if you get confused at any point, it's perfectly fine to dip your mirrors down. So you can use the electric mirror controls on most cars and dip the mirror down until you can see the rear tyre. It might even help to move your head across a bit like this and lean across a bit so you can get a better view and you can see the rear tyre. And focus on that rear tyre. That's what you're directing. You want to just direct where that rear tyre is going. Also, if you need to as well, you could always open your door. So you could open your door and have a look, lean out, have a look out the back to see what's happening. Even if you need to, you could even secure the car and then jump out of the car and have a look, to actually look out of the car and have a look to see what's happening. And dipping your mirrors down or opening your door is often more for when you want a precision manoeuvre. So if you want to get very close to something. For example, I'll back up slowly here and you'll start to see I've got a curb next to me here. If I want to get close to that, of course I want to go that way, so I'm going to steer that way. But to get the precision, to know exactly when I'm near that curb, this is when you might move your mirror down or open your doors. Know exactly when your back tyre is getting near the curb. And you're looking for the back tyre to be about a foot, about that far, 30 centimetres away from the curb. So this is where I'm going to move my mirror down. Make sure I can see the back tyre, which I can now. Looking where I want to go. I'm going to go a little bit closer. I'm not going to steer anymore because the back is going in fine, so I don't need to overdo it. And then my back tyre is now getting close. It's now about a foot away from the curb. So now I'm going to steer away from the curb. And now I'm just waiting until I'm parallel, so be patient with the steering. Don't straighten too early. Wait till the car's straight. So now it's straight, so straightening it up. This is where your practicing straightening the wheel skills come into practice. And now I'm a really good distance away from the curb and parallel from the curb with straight wheels. And once you can control the speed of the car, keep the car slow, and you can reverse back in a straight line and know which way to turn the wheels, and also know where straight is on the wheels, then try something slightly more challenging. Try reversing round the car park. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to reverse around some of the trees and lampposts in this car park. Again, very quiet car park. You wouldn't do this in a busy car park. It'd be dangerous. Very quiet car parks, you're not going to confuse anyone. So at the moment, I want to steer to the left. So I want to back up to the left. So I'm going to steer left. So that way. And now I've got a bush on my left here. I'm getting a little bit close to. So I'm going to steer away from that a bit. I can also use my mirrors to check. So I'm looking at my mirror just to check how much room I've got from the bush on my left here. And then when I'm straight, which is about here, I'm then going to straighten my wheels. So I've steered to the left, so I have to steer to the right to straighten, to take that steering off. So I'm going to try one turn to the right to start with. The wheel looks like this, so that should be straight, but I'll check. Look at the back. Is the car going straight? Yes, it is. So that's straight wheels. And now we're going to continue to back up a bit more. And now I'm going to look to back up and go this way, down this bit of the car park. So I'm looking where I want to go. I want to go that way, so I'm looking that way. And I'm going to start steering that way. So I'm going to steer right because I want to go to the right. And I feel like I'm quite far away from this side, so I'm going to steer a bit more to keep closer to the right. So that's now full lock, so now that's 1.5 turns, because I've practiced that. And now I'm going to wait until the car's straight. So it's straight about now, so I'm going to slow the car and then straighten the wheels. So that's half a turn and 1 full turn. That's now the wheels straight. So now I'm going to demonstrate me doing that with the camera facing behind. where we should be looking. So what I'm aiming to do is back up that way between the bush and the curb. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. If I do that, you might be able to see it. So I'm going to back between the bush and the curb, back up that way, and then back up that way down the other side of the car park. So into reverse gear, backing up slowly, looking where I want to go. So I'm now looking towards here. This is where I want to go, between this bush and this curb here, and then that's the way I'm going to be steering. So I'm going to start steering that way, and I feel like I might be a tiny bit close to that bush, so I'm going to take a bit of steering off. And I'm going to put some more steering on, so I'm going to steer now towards the bush, so that way. And now I'm looking directly behind me, because now I want to look to get the car straight. So I've got to work out where straight is. So straight's about here. So now I'm going to straighten the wheels. So my wheel's like this at the moment. When I move back, I can feel the back of the car's going that way. So I'm going to try steering the opposite way. So I'll try that, see if that's straight. Look at the back. No, that's not straight. The back of the car's still going that way. I'll show you that. See, the back of the car's still going towards the bush. The wheels aren't straight yet. So I'll do one more turn. So there, what problem I did there, I only did half a turn to straighten. So it's 1.5 turns to straighten. So now, I'm going to look to be backing up where the camera's pointing. So I'm going to back up slowly. I might move the camera a little bit more so you can see, so I'm backing up towards that way. So I want to go that way, so I'm going to steer that way. So I've done a full lock here because it's quite a tight turn. I'm looking where I want to go. And now I think I'm going to get a bit too close to the curb on the right here, so I'm going to take some of my steering off. Notice as well the way I'm just pausing every so often and just stopping just to check, just to think about what I need to do. There's no rush. And now I want to come a bit more to the right here, so I'll go a bit more this way. And now I'm just waiting until the car's straight. Just be patient. Don't steer straight in too early. Wait till the car's straight. So the car's straight about here. So now I'm straight. So now I'm going to look to straighten the wheels. So my wheels look like this at the moment. You might think they're straight, but if you look behind you and back up slowly, the back of the car's still going that way. So I've still got a turn on to the right. So that should be straight now. I've taken that turn off. Have a look behind me. The back of the car's slightly pointing that way, so I'm going to steer this way a bit to sort that problem out. And then straightening the wheels.